Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpa coming to you from the living room in JAX Beach. And tonight we're going to look at Genesis chapter 8. When we last read, we were in the part of Noah's flood where God had put Noah into the ark with the 7 other people. It's his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, and flooded the earth, wiped out every living creature except, of course, the fish. But the birds, he had to bring the birds in because the flood lasted for 150 days. And birds can't fly that long. So they would either had to be able to swim or, like, maybe there were ducks. I don't know. When I get to heaven, I'll ask. God, it doesn't make sense. Did you save the ducks? Chapter 8 says, But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and domestic animals that were with him in the ark. Now it says that God remembered Noah, but God didn't forget about him. It's just the way that the Bible is worded. It's artistic. It's not like he went, oh crap, Noah, oh, how long, oh no, he's been there how long? It's not like that. God's all-knowing, all-seeing. He's already in the future. He's in the past. He's everywhere. He's in every dimension. We don't even know how many dimensions there are. God is in all of them all the time. God caused a wind to blow over the earth, and the waters receded. The fountains of the deep and the floodgates of heaven were closed, and the rain stopped falling. Stopped falling from the sky. The waters kept receding steadily from the earth, so that they had gone down by the end of the 150 days. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on one of the mountains of Ararat. The waters kept on receding until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. I'm not going to get into this a lot, but there are a couple places, and they're in the Middle East. They're in places that are hard to go to because it's political strife and things like that. But there's a couple places that they think may be Ararat. There's one that they believe might have the remains of Noah's Ark on it. If it's ever proven, it would be monumental. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven. It kept flying back and forth till the waters had dried up on the earth. Then Noah sent out a dove to see if the waters had receded from the surface of the ground. The dove could not find a resting place for its feet because water still covered the surface of the entire earth. And so it returned to Noah in the ark. He stretched out his hand, took the dove, and brought it back into the ark. He waited 7 more days, and then sent out the dove again from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there was a freshly picked olive leaf in his beak. Noah knew that the waters had receded from the earth. He waited another 7 days and sent the dove out again, but it did not return to him this time. So he sent, a raven out the first time? He sent a raven out, and it just flew around. He sent a dove out, and it came back, but it had this olive branch in its mouth. So he knew that the waters had gone down far enough that at least the the trees were starting to be able to be gotten to. Like, this wasn't something that was floating at the top of the water. This thing went down and picked a little olive branch off and brought it back to the ark. And so he knew that he was getting close. Now, he could see probably parts of land, but he couldn't see right down from the ark. So it's not like he could just, if he had gotten out too early, he would have drowned. Him and his whole family. The whole ark would have filled up, and there'd be nobody here reading this story right now. But then he knew, after he sent another dove out, that it didn't come back, that it must have found a place to rest. In Noah's 601st year, in the first day of the first month, the waters had dried up from the earth, and Noah removed the covering from the ark, and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. And by the 27th day of the second month, the earth was dry. So it wasn't, it's because this thing didn't have windows in it. It just had that 18-inch gap going around the top. So he knew that, hey, good possibility it's dry, so he opened it up. Then God spoke to Noah and said, "Come out of the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you all the living creatures that are with you. Bring out every living thing, including the birds, animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. Let them increase and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." Which is what he said back in the Garden of Eden too. Noah went out alone with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. Every living creature, every creeping thing, every bird, and everything that moves on the earth went out of the ark in their groups. Noah built an altar to the Lord. He then took some of every kind of clean animal and clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And we talked about that. He took 2 of every creature, but of the clean ones, the ones that you could make a sacrifice from, he took 7 of them. So there'd still be 2 left over after he did all the sacrifices. And even though we don't get to the sacrificial system until the next chapter of the Bible, Exodus, and then especially Leviticus, and they did this. I mean, in chapter 4, they were supposed to take an offering to the Lord. Cain and Abel were supposed to take an offering to the Lord. So this was something that they did. I don't know how they knew to do it, but they did. And the Lord smelled the soothing aroma and said to himself, "I will never again curse the ground because of humankind, even though their inclination of their minds is evil from childhood on. I will never again destroy everything that lives, as I have just done." And then there's a little poetic verse here. "While the earth continues to exist, planting time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night will not cease." And that concludes chapter 8. Chapter 9, we're going to see God make a covenant with Noah, and then we're going to see what's called the curse of Canaan. Canaan was one of the sons. Canaan was the son of one of the sons. He's the son of Ham. So you have Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And we talked about that a little bit in the last couple chapters. Anyway, peace out. See you in chapter 9.